Hey everybody, got a story today to teach a little lesson about dating someone on the rebound. I call it Root Beer Float Sunday. And so to tell you the story, I have to back up way back into high school when I was playing sports. I love sports. I was better at football, but I loved basketball. I had a great passion for basketball. And one summer I was playing a church league basketball, league play. And one day we were playing this team and we were beating them pretty good. But this guy that was guarding me, he was a Native American kid. And, back in those days, I hate saying that, that says how old I am, but back in the time when, in the early 70s, there was some indoctrination going on with Native Americans, and the program was to integrate them. You remember busing for African Americans. Well, with Native Americans, what they do is they place them with Caucasian families in middle to upper neighborhoods and have them go to school there in hopes that they could get them off the reservation and get them into integrated society. Okay? Well, anyway, we were playing this game, and this Native American kid was guarding me, and he didn't know how to play that well. And of course, remember, I was a dumb kid, and I was intense in basketball, and he kept fouling me in the first half. He fouled me every time I got the ball, and it really bugged me. So, and I didn't know my skills in, anger management or arbitration of negotiating conflict or anything like that. So I said, listen, if you keep fouling me like this after the game, we're going to meet in that parking lot and I'm going to beat you up. Well, I've only had one fight in my life. That's another story for another day. Maybe later today. We'll see. And then we had halftime. We're getting some water, and I go back in the court, and I look down on the other bench, and this young man is crying, and I felt terrible. I do have a sensitive heart, I really do. So I went over and sat next to him. I said, "Hey, buddy," I put my arm around him. I said, "Listen, my temper gets the best of me, especially in basketball. I have no intention of fighting you. I was a jerk. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's just go out and have fun. I hope you can forgive me." Patted him on the back and went back to the bench. Well, this is in a place where we had some people watching the game, usually friends or family, and his sponsor mom started yelling at me, and she said, "Hey, LeDuc, how does it feel to be a bully?" And she kept yelling it. And bully, LeDuc, you're a bully. I mean, screaming it in this game. Well, I got upset at her, and so I went over to the sideline. I said, "Lady, I apologized, okay? I was sorry to him. Let's just play." Well, that wasn't enough for her. So I kept playing, and she kept yelling at me, "Hey, you big bully, how does it feel?" And she yelled and yelled. Now, my parents taught me never to yell at women, to treat women with the utmost of respect. And I've always tried to do that. But I was in high school, so I went over to her. Finally, I went over the sideline during the game and I said, "Hey, lady, shut up!" Well, that's not like me, but I did. Ashamed to say. And she got up and left. So we finished the game, shook his hand, talked to him afterward. So I know that doesn't have anything to do with dating, but just keep that in the back of your mind, okay? So that was that was the summer going into my senior year in high school. So during senior year, I didn't date much in high school. The end of the year, I got my first real girlfriend. It was like a prize to me. It was like a cherished trophy, and not like she was a trophy, but I was really happy. I was big in high school. I was focused on sports. Because I was big, I had a self-esteem issue and very self-conscious. Nobody liked me. I was very popular, but I just didn't date. I was a good friend, but not the best of dates. So anyway, and then I went off to college. So, and I dated a few girls in college, and I also still had my girlfriend back 6 hours away, so I'd go home on weekends and we'd see each other. And we were serious and everything. And then I went to Spain for a couple of years to serve a mission for my church. And 4 months in, she dropped me. She dumped me for another guy. In fact, she was married before I got back. And of course, I was devastated. But I had a job to do. I stayed there, and time went on, and life went on. You know how it goes. So I come back, and I've dated a few girls. I'm home, and I'm saving money so that I can. Sorry, I've got a timer going off. So that I could raise money. I got a full-time job, so I could raise money to go back to college. While I was working at home for about 7 months, there was a university dance, and some friends of mine told me about it, and so I go to this dance, and while I was in Spain, I lost a lot of weight. I was in good shape. Anyway, go to this dance, and I see this girl. She's pretty. Short blondish hair and glasses, and very pretty. And so I thought I'd throw a little Jim LeDuc corny charm on her. So I sat down next to her and I said, "Hey, how could a girl so pretty as you be crying?" And I sat down and thought I'd talk to her a little bit, and she was sobbing, and she told me, she wiped her tears, and I gave her some encouragement. She told me that she'd just broken up with her boyfriend, that he had cheated on her, and he dropped her, and she was really sad. Well, I took that upon me as an opportunity. We danced a few times. I got her phone number and said goodbye. And during the week, I thought, I think I need to follow up on this and set up a date. So I called her up, and I said, I'll call her Tammy. So, "Hey, Tammy, how's it going?" Okay. I said, "Okay. I was just calling to see if maybe we could, go out this weekend." She said, "Well, before we can go out, there's an issue that needs to be resolved." I go, "Really? What's that?" And she said, "Well, do you remember like 3 years ago, you were at a church league basketball game and you were," and I go, "What? Well, yeah, I played in church league." She goes, "Remember one game when you were guarding a Native American young man, and that you guys were kind of talking to each other, and then you picked a fight with him?" And man, it just threw me for a loop. I go, I've forgotten about that, but now that you mention it, yes, I do remember that." She says, "Do you remember yelling at a woman and telling her to shut up?" Well, now all the blood drained out of my face. And I thought, there is no way. Impossible. How could it be? So I said, "Yes, ashamedly, I do remember that. But I'm not like that, but yes, I do remember that." She said, "Well, that woman is my mother." I thought, oh, crap. And she said, "She doesn't like you very much. And I'm not sure if she'll let you date me." And I said, "Oh my gosh, listen, I'm a different person. That was when I was a punk high school kid. I didn't really know, how to act and behave in front of other people and, respect. And my parents always taught me that, but I'm a changed man. I'm different. You know that. I'm a nice guy." I said, "How about if I come over to your house, say tomorrow night, and talk to her and ask her to forgive me?" She said, "Just a minute, I'll check." So there's some time passes by. Some time. She comes back and says, "She says she'll talk to you." I said, "Great. What time?" Set up a time. So man, I got a haircut. I bought some flowers. I dressed up nice. I showed up right on time. rang the doorbell. Tammy let me in, and there's her mom. And she saw the flowers in my hand, and she saw the look on my face, and she didn't smile, but uh, again, her countenance softened a little bit. And I said, "Oh, Mrs. Harris," let's call her that, Mrs. Harris, I am so sorry. I'm a changed man. I have never done that before or since. It was so stupid of me. I did apologize to him. I never had a chance to apologize to you, so this is my time to apologize to you. Will you please accept? I went down on my knees. I said, "Would you please?" I handed her the flowers. "Would you please accept these flowers as a token of my sincere apology to you?" And she took them and looked at them for a minute, looked at me, cracked a little smile, and said, "All right, I forgive you." And then I asked, would it be all right with you? Could I have your permission to date your daughter? I promise I will honor her virtue. I will behave. I will treat her like a queen. And I really like her. She's just a great person, and I'd like to get to know her better with your permission. And she said, "Yes, you can date her." And so we started dating. And she was a dental assistant, and I was working at a plumbing warehouse, and I was unloading and loading trucks. In fact, I was unloading railroad cars of toilets and showers and stuff. And I was working hard, so I was in good shape. Anyway, we went out a few times, several times. In fact, we started going out. We had a great time. And we dated for like 3 months. And, I was a good boy. I didn't, we didn't experiment with anatomy. And, we made out a little, but that was it. Well, after about 3 months, I called her up and I said, "Hey, Tammy, can we go out this tonight? Can we do something?" She goes, "I'm busy." I said, "Okay. Well, how about Friday night?" She goes, "I can't Friday night either. I'm sorry." And then I said, "Okay, well, I hope you'll be able to go out soon. Let me know when your schedule clears up. I hope you're okay. Please let me know." And so I said goodbye, and she called me back after about a half hour. She said, "Hey, Jim, how about you come over to my house on Sunday for root beer floats?" Well, I love root beer floats, man. I love especially root beer ice cream. Vanilla ice cream, A&W root beer, not diet. Are you kidding? Have diet root beer with ice cream? And nice and cold. I loved it. So I said, "Sure, what time?" She said 1 o'clock. So I said, "Okay, I'll be there." So I showed up, and she had a little porch swing. So she said, "Have a seat." So I sat down, and she sat down like on the opposite end, like not close to me. I thought, "Oh, this isn't good." So she says, "Let me go get the root beer floats. I'll be right back." So she brings them out, and I'm sitting there wondering, what the heck is going on? So she comes back out. She has the root beer floats. She gives me one, and it's good. All the right ingredients. Really good vanilla ice cream. These days I like vanilla bean, but anyway, good vanilla ice cream. Nice and hard and cold, and A&W root beer, and decent glass, and a straw and a spoon. Got to have a straw and a spoon. So I started eating, and I said, "Well, how are you doing? What's the matter? What's going on? I don't understand why all of a sudden you're not able to go out." She goes, "Well, I need to tell you something." I said, "Okay, go ahead." She said, "Do you remember the night we met?" I go, "Of course. An unforgettable evening." Anyway, she says, "Well, you remember that I had just broken up with a guy?" I said, "Yeah, the one that cheated on you, that one?" And she goes, "Yes." I said, "Okay, yeah, I remember that. And you were crying?" "Yes." "Okay, well, what's up?" She said, he saw us together, and he got really jealous, and he came and talked to me, and he apologized." And I go, "Yeah, okay." So wait a minute now. You and I have been dating really and getting along great for like 3 months now, right? Things are going good, right? She goes, yes, but he apologized, and our families are different. Your family, your dad's like a banker. My family's is in farming, and my ex-boyfriend, his family's in farming, and our families know each other, and so I forgave him. And I said, well, okay, I guess. And she said, and then, well, he asked me to marry him. And I said, wow, really? And what did you say? At this point, I was shocked. And she said, well, I said yes. And I said, you said yes? I said, and I stood up. I said, you know what, Tammy? I wish you both all the best. Gave her a sideways hug, walked real fast to my car, and drove off. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I could not believe it. So time passes, years, 20 years. I'm married to my wife now. Love her. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. Greatest blessing in my life. If you took away everything I've ever had, or I ever do have, or will have in life, and I still had my wife, I would be a grateful man and a happy man. Anyway, so I'm talking to my nephew one time. We were all together for like Thanksgiving or something, and he said, "Hey, Uncle Jim, did you date Tammy so and so?" I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. Yeah, she was a dental assistant. I remember." I said, "Yeah, she dumped me and married her boyfriend after he cheated on her, and then right in the middle of when we're dating, he asked her to marry him." She said, "Yes." He said, "Yeah, that's her. I heard that. Well, her son's my best friend." I go, "Oh man, you're kidding me. Well, how's she doing?" And he said, "Well, she married that guy, and he cheated on her, and they got divorced." And I thought to myself, well, serves you right. But I didn't say that. I said, "Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Very nice person. Don't wish that on anybody." And he said, "Well, there's more to the story." He said, "So after a while, he apologized. They got remarried. And," I said, "I know, don't say it. He cheated on her again, right?" "Yes, he did." "And they got another divorce, didn't they?" "Yes, they did." I go, "Wow." Then I said out loud, "She could have had me." And we had a little laugh. But he said, "Well, you know what, Uncle Jim?" He said, "That time it stuck. They didn't get married anymore. She found someone else recently. She got remarried, and they're very, very happy." And I said, "Man, that is great. I'm happy for her. I really am." And so, lesson learned. And if I could pass a lesson on to you about dating and finding the right person, which I'll share several, already shared a few, that is, don't date anyone who's just broken up with someone else. Don't ever do it. Ever. I dated a girl in college. Her name was Dee Dee Leday. And let me tell you, she was from the South and she was cute. Dee Dee, are you kidding me? Yeah, that was her real name. And I asked her out. She's really cute. But every time we went out, it was like she kept talking about her ex. And it drove me nuts. It's like, are you kidding me right now? We're trying to establish a relationship between us, and you're talking about your ex all the time. And she was getting sad, and it was awful. Finally, after about 3 or 4 dates, I said, "Dee Dee, you're a really nice person. You're really cute. I love dating you. But all you do when we get together is talk about your ex-boyfriend. So when you're over him, please let me know, and I'd love to go out with you again." Well, that didn't go over very good. Never heard from her again. I missed her southern accent, but soon after that, I met my wife to be, and everything lived happily ever after. So, anyway, the advice is, don't date anyone who's getting over their ex. And some of my students over the years said, "Mr. LeDuc, it's okay after 6 months." Is it? Is it really? I don't know. That's up to you. But I'd be very, very careful. and maybe after high school, maybe after college, when they don't see their ex that much, may be possible. So don't ever forget root beer float Sundays, when my once and upon a time girlfriend dumped me to go back to her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. They got married, cheated on her once, cheated on her twice, and of course she cheated on her when I met her, so that's 3 times, 3 strikes, they're out. Don't forget, have a great day. Find the person of your dreams, someone who makes you happy, but someone that you miss when you're not with them. Yeah, there needs to be an attraction, there needs to be a spark, but you want to find someone that you love, that you miss when you're not with them, and you long to be with them. That's the magic ingredient. So keep that in mind. And like I always told my students, they always say, Mr. Duke, when should we get married? When should we get married? Now I realize I got married young, but I will tell you this. My advice always has been go to the salad bar when the ingredients are fresh. What that means is go to the salad bar when there's lots of varieties of toppings and lettuce and dressings. No one wants to go to the salad bar when all there is brown lettuce, garbanzo beans, and local Italian. You want lots of variety. And the variety, the longer you wait, the less variety there is. And the old adage, you snooze, you lose, sometimes comes into play. I was 22, my wife was 19, but I knew she wasn't going to be around in 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year. So you may not be ready to get married, you never are. And I realize people wait now more than in my time, and that's okay. But when you meet the right someone, don't wait for it to be the right time. Act on it, and you will be very happy you did. All right, you guys take care. Next story coming up soon.